Meghan Markle and Prince Harry caused an unholy scrap over titles after hoping to keep their Sussex Royal status for their future branding. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle caused tension with the royal family over their desire to use Sussex Royal as part of their brand, claims royal expert. Tom Quinn said that after returning to Canada, the Sussexes were influenced by American branding and hadn't checked if they were able to maintain their royal titles for future purposes. According to royal author Tom Quinn, when Harry and Meghan went to Canada, there seemed to be an unholy scrap over what they could call themselves, what they could do. They wanted to be Sussex Royal because again this is an American culture thing, coming in via Meghan. She, having crossed the Atlantic, began to think we've got to be a brand. That terrible word that the royal family would always think, oh my god, they're talking about brands, it's awful. They wanted to be Sussex Royal, then they were told they couldn't be Sussex Royal, they couldn't use that, and they couldn't be HRH. This is the royal family again saying to them, because clearly Meghan and Harry hadn't checked. You can't just keep carrying on with the titles you had when you were working members of the royal family. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced their intention to resign from the royal family in January 2020. The announcement came after months of media speculation regarding a rift between the couple and Buckingham Palace, as well as their difficulties with the tabloid press. In the weeks leading up to the Megxit announcement, the couple had been staying for several weeks in Canada for the Christmas holidays. Under the terms of their Megxit agreement, the couple renounced their HRH status and their royal patronages. Whilst they were allowed to maintain their Sussex titles, they were unable to continue with the use of Sussex Royal as their charitable foundation. The couple had established Sussex Royal in 2019 following their decision to split from Prince William and Kate's Royal Foundation. They had hoped to model their own charitable enterprise along the lines of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Obama Foundation. Since leaving the royal family, the couple have moved to Montecito, California and have established a new foundation, Archewell. Archewell's key focus is compassion in action and is committed to promoting the causes the Duke and Duchess feel passionately towards, such as gender equality, female empowerment, and mental health. In recent months, Archewell has raised $3 million for the Global Vaccine Alliance Fund, opened community relief centers in Mumbai and Puerto Rico, and donated towards charities supporting mental health resources among Black women. The couple have also signed lucrative deals with Netflix and Spotify to produce uplifting and informative content. The royal family made a deeply regrettable mistake with Meghan Markle soon after she became engaged to Prince Harry, one expert has claimed. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry announced their engagement in November 2017. But after the news went public, the royal family failed to introduce the future Duchess of Sussex to royal journalists in the same way they did with Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, when she became engaged to Prince William, an expert has claimed. Writing in this week's Telegraph, royal newsletter expert and editor Camilla Tominey brands the firm's failure to treat Meghan the same as Kate deeply regrettable and argues it may have helped cement the anti-press stance Harry and Meghan hold to this day. Touching on the royals' tricky relationship with the media, Ms. Tominey mentioned a recent interview she did with Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. Despite the bad press the Duchess of Cornwall has received in the past, she remains friendly towards journalists, Ms. Tominey explained. She wrote, "I've just written a piece on the Duchess of Cornwall, out this weekend, in which a former aide commented on how much she enjoyed speaking to us hacks." Ms. Tominey added, "This is despite the tabloids spending most of the 1990s and early 2000s vilifying her as the most hated woman in Britain and public enemy number one. She loves a gossip, she loves a good story, and she knows journalists are inherently interesting people," insisted the source. Camilla's treatment at the hands of the media dwarfs what Harry and Meghan went through, Ms. Tominey argues. She added, "What Camilla was put through makes Prince Harry and Meghan's treatment by the newspapers look like a walk in the park, and yet the Sussexes remain the most anti-press of all." Meghan and Harry's anti-press stance may have been prevented if Meghan had been introduced to royal journalists from the start like Kate was, Ms. Tominey suggested. She added, "I have always thought it deeply regrettable that the palace never properly introduced Meghan to the royal press pack, as they did when then Kate Middleton became engaged to Prince William. It is only really when the royal family and journalists meet face to face that both sides come to realize that there is probably more that unites them than divides them." Meghan and Harry's struggle in the limelight was one of the reasons they gave for quitting as senior royals. However, since their departure from the firm, the couple have maintained a strong public profile. Their bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey in March shook the royal household to its core as the couple spoke out about their time as working royals and made several damning allegations against the monarchy. In recent weeks, news Harry is to pen a tell-all memoir that is due to be published next year will have also ruffled feathers among palace aides. In a statement about his upcoming book, Harry said, "I'm writing this not as the prince I was born but as the man I have become. I've worn many hats over the years, both literally and figuratively, and my hope is that in telling my story, the highs and lows, the mistakes, the lessons learned, I can help show that no matter where we come from, we have more in common than we think. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to share what I've learned over the course of my life so far and excited for people to read a first-hand account of my life that's accurate and wholly truthful." The Sussexes have been based in California since last year, but were expected to return to the UK to attend the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations next spring. There is now speculation they may be uninvited from the event amid fears royal family dramas might dwarf the Queen's milestone. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry should follow Charles Spencer's example and not use their full royal titles for private and financial endeavors. The Duchess of Sussex is getting ready to celebrate a landmark birthday this week, her 40th. She is expected to celebrate in the comfort of her and Harry's multi-million-dollar Montecito mansion, basking in the Californian sunshine. Reports suggest the pair have opted against a glitzy and glamorous star-studded night out, and will instead transform their home into the venue, courtesy of celebrity party planner Colin Cowie. The event is expected to be frequented by some of their A-lister friends, including Oprah Winfrey, who they sat down with this April and tore into the royal family, alleging racism and a failure to help Meghan with her mental health struggles. Both Meghan and Harry have been busy in recent weeks, announcing a string of projects. While Harry is working on his memoirs, set to be published in 2022, Meghan is helping to produce her first Netflix original film, an animation called Pearl. Meghan's landmark creation since leaving the royal family, her children's book. The Bench attracted widespread outrage when she used her royal title, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, on the front cover. It was just months after she and Harry confirmed they would not return as working members of the firm, giving up the use of their HRH titles. Marlene Koenig, a veteran royal expert, said that she believed it is time for the pair to step away from using their titles, just like countless other members in and around the royal family. She gave the example of Charles Spencer, 9th Earl Spencer, Princess Diana's brother, who has written several books but refrained from using his full royal title and promoting them. Ms. Koenig told Royal UK Story, "Uncle Charles Earl Spencer, he's written books but doesn't use his title, he uses Charles Spencer." The Earl of Harewood, whose father was the Queen's first cousin, was a producer. He used Lascelles, the family name, as his title. So I think they should step away from using their titles, they should just use Meghan Sussex, Harry Sussex. There is so much precedent for that, especially in the US. There's nothing stopping you having your title as a royal if you're abroad, but you usually don't use your titles. But from a professional aspect, and the precedents of so many peers and other members of the royal family who don't use their titles, in not denigrating them at all, I just think it would lessen the tension if they didn't use the titles to say, "Hey, we're just gonna use, in the credits, Meghan Sussex, Harry Sussex." There's nothing wrong with that. Ms. Koenig isn't the only one to have called for the pair to step away from using their titles. Earlier this year, the Mail on Sunday reported that there was an increasing sense of bewilderment and betrayal inside the palace after Harry's appearance on the podcast, Armchair Expert. It was here the Duke spoke about having had genetic pain and suffering passed down to him by Charles, who in turn had been passed it by the Queen and Prince Philip. A source told the Mail, the Duke of Sussex has now spent a significant amount of time emphasizing that he's no different to anyone else and attacking the institution which he says has caused him so much pain. There is a growing feeling that if you dislike the institution that much, you shouldn't have the titles. Another added, they should put the titles into abeyance, so they still exist but are not used like they agreed to do with their HRHs. They should just become Harry and Meghan. And if they refuse to do that, they have to explain why not. Yet, more recent reports suggest the Queen is unlikely to strip them of their titles because it would give them increased attention. Jonathan Sacerdoti said it would be a problem for her to even consider taking their titles away. He told E! News it's unlikely that the Queen will take away their titles. "I don't think she's vengeful or spiteful, but I think there are obviously problems going on within the family like there are in anyone's family. But they're putting it out there so publicly. They said they wanted a quieter life with less press and media intrusion, and then they went and told Oprah everything. You do have to ask yourself if actually what they're after is more and more attention and anything the royal family does to combat that is only going to backfire on the royal family too and give them that increased attention.